why is there a need for such an effort? And we felt that there are basically two reasons. Ethical reason is that Ayurveda should be made available to the whole world because it is a knowledge that can help humanity. I mean, it's not just because Ayurveda has a business potential. I mean, it's just because Ayurveda is useful for humanity. And the second thing is that all of us are really very passionate about this, that Ayurveda offers a world view. I mean, providing new conceptual frameworks that can probably bring about a paradigm shift in our thinking. So it's not Ayurveda versus modern medicine, but how to make our understanding of nature, of biology, much more comprehensive and better. So I think these are the two foundational, fundamental reasons why we are engaging in this exercise. And you can see this whole white paper is structured on this understanding of Ayurveda as a knowledge system. That it is a three-tiered structure that there is, and I think this is what makes Ayurveda most compatible to research. Like if Ayurveda were a belief system, then there is a basic incompatibility with research itself. But we wanted to highlight that Ayurveda is very compatible to research because it is, the whole construct is a three-tiered structure of what we call principles, theory and practice. And throughout the evolution of Ayurveda, this has been the focus. Like if there is a practice, then there is a theory behind it. And behind the theory, there is a tattva or a principle. And this makes Ayurveda really a coherent knowledge system and then amenable to kind of research inquiry. So this is another important point that we wanted to bring out through the white paper, and that is why most of the topics are categorized under these three headings. And one major point that we want to bring about is that, when we look at research, we have to look at accommodating. And I think it's both ways. It's not just one way, not Western research methods, just accommodating Ayurveda, but we need to have a real push from both sides. We have to stop this force-fitting approach. And that's one thing that we have really tried to stress in the white paper, that we need to look for research methods. It could be even modification of existing methods, because sometimes if we develop completely new methods, I was just having a discussion with Professor Matthias Cornelissen today morning, it's always better to engage with what's currently happening and then modify and develop further. So that's the next point. And another one, with all the patent for this this approach is with Antonio, but with his permission, I would like to talk about global localization, which in other words is also a translation of Ayurveda. Because I think this is one area where we need really good research, that how do we bring the principles of Ayurveda in a way that is appropriate for other geographical situations. Like how do we use new plants from the basis of Ayurvedic principles? How do we relate to new climates, new cultures, new ways of living? Because Ayurveda, I think I want to mention this also, is that it's one system which has still been known as Ayurveda and not converted like into something like traditional Chinese medicine. We're beginning to see this now. There is TIM. I think that would be the TIM of Ayurveda if we convert Ayurveda into TIM, traditional Indian medicine. Ayurveda, I think, is unique because it has preserved this concept of being the knowledge of life. And life is everywhere. Wherever there is life, there is Ayurveda. So I think that broad perspective is the foundation of this idea of global localization and translation. That's also coming up in our white paper. And then again, what Antonio has always been kind of highlighting, modeling. We need to go beyond just translations into theoretical constructs, models which convey much better than, linear translations. We need to create models of Ayurvedic theory which will provide an understanding. And so, especially, we go into newer realms like, complexity, complex systems theory. I think this is one of the fundamental difficulties, that we try to reduce Ayurveda into this linear framework of thinking. So we need to take theory also to another level to incorporate Ayurveda. That's another point. And then of course, looking at which could be the priority areas. I mean, where is it that we should, because we should be working on areas that have relevance for for human well-being, and which are the priorities for the majority of the countries. And here, prevention, public health, salutogenesis, which has been, Paolo has really brought it out so powerfully in some of our earlier discussions. So this is, when we come to focus, we thought this was one of the major areas where we should look into. And then the instruments, tools for assessment, because Ayurveda represents a different way of understanding the human body. So we need tools, instruments to objectify, because at this level, as we say, we have to prove that Ayurvedic diagnosis is accurate and leads to repeatable results. And if we have to do that, then we have to develop tools with which we can demonstrate this. So this is also highlighted here. And so here there were two things, like when we look at ongoing research, because we have to also work at what is happening, in the mainstream. And here I think that what we have found in our white paper is there are two things. One is there has to be a shift from, breaking down Ayurveda treatment into components, like, testing one drug or one molecule. We have to come to the whole multi-modal way of looking at it. Ayurvedic treatment comes as a package. It's a combination of internal, external treatments, physical, mental, spiritual therapies. So we need, and there are new research methods emerging to look at these complexities. I think there's an urgent need. If you were to do a review of all the research that has happened in Ayurveda over, the last many decades, it's very difficult to find research studies which really address the complexity of Ayurvedic treatment. And the next thing is when you come to pharmacology. I think these are two areas which drive, research, and this is two areas where we get a lot of research publications. We have to go from molecules to molecular combinatorics. If you put it in the language of modern chemistry, Ayurvedic formulations are molecular cocktails, very complex molecular cocktails. And we need to really shift our attention to studying this complexity. So this